France still practiced feudalism in the 18th century. The nobles and clergy they have to pay taxes, while the common people didn't have power and freedom in politics. They worked hard and had to pay heavy taxes. The nobles and clergy made up the first and second estates in the States General. The common people made up the third state. The nobles and clergy could abolish the common people easily through the States General, that was always not called by the king, who ruled as an absolute monarchy. Bankruptcy of the government. Louis XIV had spent too much. His successors did not cut down expenses. Louis XVI also failed to improve the financial situation. He dismissed ministers who tried to introduce financial reform. By 1789, the government was bankrupt. Another cause is the influence of the Enlightenment and American Revolution. The ideas and writings of the Enlightenment thinkers like Voltaire became widespread. The French people were inspired to go against their king. The success of Americans to overthrow British rule encouraged the French people to fight for their freedom. How it developed. The outbreak of the revolution. When Louis XVI finally called the States General to solve financial difficulties, the third state didn't agree with the first system. They formed the National Assembly to make a constitution that took 2 years. People were afraid that the king would suppress the National Assembly. They were also discontented that the king dismissed Necker, the popular finance minister. The hungry Parisians, who suffered from bad harvest, burst out their anger by attacking the Bastille prison. The fall of Bastille started the French Revolution and is also called the Great Fear. It spread out to other parts of France. The Constitution and the Legislative Assembly only lasted from 1791 until 1792. In 1792, the two great powers of Europe, Prussia and Austria, were afraid of the spread of democracy, so they declared war on France in order to restore the monarchy. The Legislative Assembly was dissolved and a national convention was set up by the third state members called the Sans-Culottes. The new constitution, in order to deal with the pressure, trusts the military Robespierre for public safety. Robespierre organized an army and defeated the great European powers. Also, Robespierre had to deal with the Republic enemies. This time was called the Reign of Terror because about 16,000 people were executed, including King Louis XVI. Then Robespierre was executed in 1794, and the Directory was created in 1795. The Directory became corrupt, and little was done to improve the nation. In 1799, the French Revolution ended with the arrival of a great military named Napoleon Bonaparte, that came to dominate Europe for the next 16 years. Consequences of the French Revolution. France was temporarily transformed from an absolute monarchy to a republic of free and equal citizens. During the 10 years of revolution, France's political and social system were transformed and replaced with a series of different governments, although none of these governments lasted more than 4 years. But a number of initiatives permanently altered France's political system. These included the drafting of several bills of rights and constitutions, the establishment of legal equality among all citizens, and the experiments with representative democracy and the reconstruction of administration and law code. One of the most important samples are the fascists that represent state power, justice, and unity. There are a bundle of birch roads containing an axe. Another example is the French tricolor, that is the national flag. comprised of three vertical bands of blue, white, and red. The slogan was "Liberty, Equality, and Fraternity." Another symbol is Hercules, that revived to represent revolutionary ideals. La Marseillaise is the national anthem of France, written and composed by Claude Joseph in 1792. Another symbol is the Liberty Tree, officially adopted in 1792. It's a symbol of everlasting republic, national freedom, and political revolution. Another symbol is the Liberty Cap. This Bailey's cap is often red color. This type of cap was worn by the revolutionaries at the fall of the Bastille. One of the most important characters of the French Revolution is Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette was born on November 2nd of 1755 in Vienna, Austria. Marie Antoinette helped provoke the popular unrest that led to the French Revolution and to the overthrow of the monarchy in August of 1792. She married Louis XVI, and she was killed 9 months after he was, by order of the Revolutionary Tribunal. Another important character was Louis XVI. Louis XVI became the heir to the throne and the last Bourbon king of France upon his father's death in 1765. In 1770, he married Marie Antoinette. Louis XVI brought the French Revolution crashing down upon himself, and in 1793 he was executed. Another important character was Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon ended with the French Revolution and he ruled Europe for the next 16 years. Napoleon was a military commander in the French Revolution. He drove the Royal Navy out of Toulon and he defended the territory. Another important character was Robespierre. He started with the Reign of Terror, where many people were killed if they went against him, but after all he was executed. Mirabeau was also a very important character during the French Revolution. During the French Revolution, he was moderate, favoring a constitutional monarchy built on the model of Great Britain. He then decided to join the Third States group, and he was elected representative of the poorest in the States General Meeting. He was a great speaker at the assembly and became very famous within the French people. He also worked on the transformation of the States General to a National Assembly and on the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. Voltaire was a philosopher during the French Revolution. His thoughts were about civil rights, political absurdities, and the need for freedom of religion. So this made the citizens start a revolution against their king. Necker was also an important character during the French Revolution. He was the Minister of Finance under Louis XVI.